This is a very short version of an instrument called the change style indicator. And what that instrument does is it provides people feedback on their own approach to change. Discovery Learning developed this instrument because change theory tells us that people approach change differently based on their own education, experience, and personality. Now, your approach to change does not actually impact your managerial effectiveness. But knowing your own approach to change and how to work with others of different styles does impact your effectiveness. So, what's your style? If you answered primarily A to the questions, you tend to be what we call as an originator. If you answer primarily B, you tend to be a conserver. And if you primarily answered C, you tend to be what we call a pragmatist. Now, you're probably wondering what those styles are, so let me give you a quick description of each style. Originators tend to love new ideas. They prefer change that is transformational and feel comfortable challenging current structure and processes. They love to brainstorm new ideas about how to do things, and that energizes them. They like to wipe the slate clean and imagine doing things completely differently. If you are an originator, you probably enjoy some degree of risk and uncertainty. It actually excites you. Conservers prefer change that is incremental. So if you're a conserver, you value precedent and tradition. Conservers are open to change, but they want it to fit within their current systems and be evolutionary rather than revolutionary. To that end, they don't really like surprises and uncertainty. They want to know how things work in the organization. Pragmatists like change that is functional. They want change to be specific to the situation. When given an assignment, they really care less about whether the outcome is innovative or whether it fits in with the current way of getting work done. Getting the assignment done is what's most important to a pragmatist. They often operate as mediators between originators and conservers, and they are typically very team oriented and usually good at focusing the group on reaching consensus. When I was the COO of Dana Farber Cancer Institute, I worked with a medical director who was a conserver. We'll call him Tom. Tom knew all about the details of how the organization worked. He knew information systems. He knew how care was delivered in great detail. And he tended to be skeptical about changes when they were introduced, and he wanted changes to be incremental. Now, Tom worked closely with a vice president who worked with me, and she was an originator. We'll call her Monica. Monica loved to brainstorm whole new approaches to everything from registering and discharging patients to how to schedule appointments. She wanted to see transformational change. So, guess what happened between them? Well, Tom and Monica often clashed because they had such different approaches to change. But more importantly, they didn't understand their own approaches to change. And so they didn't really have a framework for dealing with someone of a different style. Remember, when you hear about a change, not everyone will have the same reaction you do. And you need to customize your approach, recognizing that everyone in the room has a different perspective.